A big appeal of modern gacha games is that they are free to play. It doesn't cost you anything to download the game on your mobile device, console, or PC, and before you know it, you're immersed in a brand new world. Gacha games in the past were not nearly as fleshed out and as gorgeous as they are today. When Genshin Impact first released, many were in awe, scratching their heads at how in the world is this free? This beautiful game that runs well, feels fun to play, and honestly a fresh new take on the gacha genre. Throw out the idea of free-to-play friendly, because I'm here to argue today that these games aren't actually free to play at all. But how is that possible? You don't have to pay a cent to download them. That's true, but this is why I like to describe these types of games as free to download, but not free to play. I explained this a bit in my gacha monetization video, which you can check out after this one, but let's really dive into this. Gacha games are live service games. As long as they are making enough profit, the developers will continue to update the game with new characters, zones, events, and more. On paper, that sounds great. You get to download this beautiful free game and enjoy updates every 6 weeks or so. This is what the developers want you to believe. Unfortunately, there are many ideas that sound fantastic on paper, but once they are put into practice, reality strikes and we start to see the flaws. The first indicator of this is microtransactions. You don't have to buy these, sure, but they will make your life a lot easier. Perhaps make your time in the game feel a lot better. In gacha games, they love their time-gated mechanics. You want to level up your characters in Genshin? You need resin. If you run out of resin, you can use your primogems to get more. If you run out of other materials, you can buy the battle pass that will help you get some more. If there's a banner character that you really want, you can go to the top-up shop and make sure you get enough currency to get that character before they're gone in 3 weeks. However, us as players can choose to ignore all of those microtransactions, monetization aspects of these games, and just play them. That is what many of us call free-to-play players, but a lot of them don't realize that they are using a different kind of currency altogether, a currency that they cannot get back or make more of. Time. If you look at the monetization methods in gacha games like Genshin, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, etc., a lot of options available to you for purchase will save you time. Don't want to grind for a bunch of materials? Get the battle pass. Don't want to grind for currency to pull your favorite character? Go to the top-up shop or get the $5 pass. Don't want to log in every day? That's cool. You can simply buy your progress. You're exchanging the money you have to save your time. Free-to-play players don't have this option and therefore are spending loads of their time instead. There's a reason why the saying time is money exists. If you're enjoying your time playing these gacha games, then you know what? Who cares? Enjoy it. You're having fun and you aren't wasting your hard-earned money on it. It's when you start to feel like you have to keep up with the game that the cost becomes more relevant. When the fun factor isn't the same as it used to be and you're trying to stick out the dry patches for something more exciting later down the line. A few years ago, I was playing all of the big 4 gacha games at once, and it made me realize that it almost took me an hour to do all of my dailies and the little time-gated events in all 4 of the titles. My time was being eaten away, and that's time I could have spent drawing, making videos, or just doing something else. What was supposed to be fun was becoming a routine. Before I started my day, I'd do dailies in these games, but it felt less like I was playing them and more like I was doing daily maintenance on them. That's why, even though I had fun with Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail, I don't play them anymore. Time is valuable and there's so much else I want to do. Playing 4 different games was sucking away my time, and that didn't include doing their main quests, side quests, or character-specific quests. This is also why the sunk cost fallacy is so strong. Whether you spend money on one of these games or your time, quitting now would feel like all the money and or time you spend on the game would be wasted, thus you're in a never-ending cycle until the game will eventually EOS or end of service. Your time is valuable currency just as much as money is. This is why even though these games may appear free on the app stores, they really aren't. Even if you don't fold and spend money on the game's microtransactions, you are still spending your precious time. If you are an older Genshin player, you might remember one of the many boycotts surrounding the game. A certain group of players, mainly on Twitter, were trying to rally a fan base into boycotting the game by still playing it, just not spending money on it. Hate to break it to you, but this is not boycotting. Your in-game time is still a valuable metric to these companies even if you don't spend a dime. The boycotts failed for various reasons, but this was one of the contributing factors. This was a quicker video today because I felt like this topic is a pretty straightforward idea. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And once again, if you're having fun with these gacha games, then there's no problem spending your time on them. I was wanting to focus more so on the players that feel like they just have to hang in there when their enjoyment has begun time to wane. If you want a more in-depth video on gacha monetization tactics, you can watch that video of mine next. I hope to see you again.